Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to the Softflix Company Live Beading Party with the best of the best, Danielle Wickes. I am Sarah Ayler, and I am from softflixcompany.com. And we are going to have a super fun day today. And it looks like I'm looking at Thomas's comments here. It looks like we are going to give away a pair of earring drops today that Thomas picked out for you that I think are going to be super fun. You can enter the giveaway by doing #word into the comments down below. Also, we started a brand new sale today for Midwinter Market. TGBE is coming up this weekend. If you're not familiar, I don't know how that's possible. The Great Bead Extravaganza is one of the best events around. It's a collective of bead sellers who get together and give live demonstrations all weekend long. We have a fantastic kit available for it called the Arctic Circle Kit. You can still get it in our shop at softflixcompany.com. Use coupon code MIDWINTER25 to get $10 off an order over $59 or $20 off an order over $99. Also, free shipping on all online orders in the US over $89. You can get a double discount when your cart is over $89 before tax and everything else, your subtotal. But you have to put in that coupon code MIDWINTER25 to get the discount. Okay, I am going to pull up my friend Danielle. Here we go. Hi, Danielle.
Hi, Sarah.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Awesome. I'm doing good too. I'm glad to be here with you. This is something that I've done over the years. Kristen does this a lot. She kind of inspired me to pick a word of the year. And your word of the year can be all sorts of different things. Usually it's something you're maybe trying to work on for the year, or something you're trying to bring into your life or remind yourself of for the year. And so initially I invited Danielle to do this video with me, and I had said, I think my word of the year is thrive. And she sent me a pattern for my word. And I said, oh, wait, but you've got to do your word of the year. So can you tell us a little bit about your word of the year and how you came to decide it was flourishing?
Well, it was, I like your word because it kind of represents the vibe I was feeling too.
Okay.
Adds like
I was
creativity.
like, nope, that word's taken.
Right? Then like this one feels like creatively abundant, like just, the way that, I want this year to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I chose this word.
I love that you did it in rainbow colors too, because that obviously sort of represents something as well, right? Like if you're trying to bring in creativity, lots of color and vibrancy, the color that you choose, I think, is really going to matter as well, which is super fun. And you did it on a nice white background. It's almost like a canvas that you're painting. And I like how your text is really neat too. It's almost like cursive in the way that it flows, which is really pretty and creative.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I was going for a cursive look or like a handwriting kind of look when I was sketching it out.
So we are going to stitch our word of the year. I'm at least going to start mine. We can see Danielle did hers, and then she's going to show us a closure technique, possibly, I think is what we were discussing, which will be fun. And I love you too, Aunt Susie. So my sweet Aunt Susie jumps in here every once in a while to tell me she loves me. I love you too, Aunt Susie. I hope you're having a good day. My word of the year is thrive. A lot of you know I went through a very hard year last year. I sometimes feel like I barely survived. And so last year, I did not pick a word of the year. I wouldn't have had the time or the energy or the space to pick a word of the year. But I think it probably was just survive, just get through it. And so this year, I'm hoping to take that a step further and really thrive with, where I'm at and taking care of myself, taking care of my beautiful children in our home, and just keep moving one foot in front of the other, but not in a zombie sort of way, but more in a very like connected, awake, aware, thriving sort of way. So for example, last night, my children were like, watch this TV show with me. And I was like, I don't really want to. I don't want to watch this kid's TV show. But what I did was I said, I'm going to go take a hot bath. I'm going to go take some time for myself. And then afterwards, when you're done with your TV show and I'm done with my bath, we can sit down and draw together. And that was a million times better than me mindlessly sitting on the couch with them, not even talking, watching a television show. So I think some things like that are what I'm looking forward to this year. Just making choices of where I can do a little better and I can feel better and use my time well to take care of myself and take care of them as well. So that's where I'm at. I came up with my pattern. As you've seen, I've been doing these for a few months now in different styles. You can see some of them over here. Here, let me just go to this screen because it'll be easier. So I have made a few of these. I initially never did seed beads, hardly ever. And then Danielle came on and and Cassandra too. And they just changed me into a seed bead lover, especially this peyote stitch, which I think is just a lot of fun and comes together fairly quickly. So I don't feel like frustrated about timing. So I did these ones in October for November. And then I did this one in November for Thanksgiving. And then I did this one in Christmas. So I was really seeking some joy over the holiday season. And now I'm thinking about Thrive, and I'm actually thinking about it in black and silver. Ooh. I just was looking at all the color options and I was like, I could do a bright color, but I feel like I would wear it less. Whereas if I do something pretty simple that can go with almost anything I wear, then I'm going to want to wear it more. And I feel like for a word of the year that I'm hoping to wear a lot, maybe black and silver would be a good fit for me. Unfortunately, this is all the black seed beads I have here. So I'm going to try to do the word in the black seed beads. I don't know how far I'll get, but I probably have to order some more from Softflex to get further into the project. So I probably won't finish mine today, I imagine, but I can show you how to start and then I can flip it over to Danielle and she can kind of show you how to finish. Does that make sense, Danielle?
Totally, yeah.
Okay, cool. So I learned how to start. I know I do need turquoise and yellow. And actually, Sherry, I just made a note in my notebook. And I was like, how do we not have turquoise seed beads? Like, what is going on here? I need turquoise. I need pink. What other colors? Oh, I want a mocha mousse color. I'm like, where's the mocha mousse? I need mocha mousse. So don't be surprised if you see some more colors popping up in the near future on the website. Oh, I love that. Kim says boundaries are my word of the year. That one is super important when you have 3 little kids running around your house. I feel like I'm constantly setting boundaries. I would just constant. I feel you on that. Anybody else have a word of the year that they would like to share with us in the comments? I would love to see it. I know, yes, it is terrible what's happening in LA. Thank you for mentioning that. As a Californian, it's just frightening how fast those things get out of control. So everybody say a little prayer thought energy release, meditation, whatever it is that you do, send some positive energy to our fellow Californians in Southern Southern California. I'm seeing some great words: balance, respect, confidence, future is Chris's word of the year. 8-year-old is excelling in school and going to a gifted school next year. That's awesome. I love that. Serenity. I love that one, Gail. I have been trying to seek some serenity myself. Yes, I have also not been watching a lot of news. It can be really tough to watch the news. I think too many people are watching too much of the news. I've been doing a little more thought. Again, how do I spend my time? Thoughtful choosing of news. Good for me. Thriving, patience, invention. Ooh, that one's good. Relaxing, attempting retirement this year. Oh, that's very exciting. Faith, focus, trust, create. These are all so beautiful. Such good words. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to get going. I think I'm talking really loud. My daughter this morning was like, "You're talking really loud today." And I was like, "Am I?"
Good volume.
I wonder if it's from doing videos where I feel like I have to speak up to be heard or something. Okay, so when I look at this pattern, I know I need to start with 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I need at least 12. I'm doing a base color of silver, so I'm going to do 12 silver beads. One thing you can do to make your life easier before you do the silver is do one of the other colors that you're not going to be using as your base color. And then we take it down to the end. You can find all the stuff that I'm using today on the Softflix Company website, all the different colors of seed beads, the thread, the needles, it's all there. And again, you can use that coupon code to get your discount. So what I did was I just strung through that little seed bead and then I strung back through it again. And I'm just going to tie like a little loose knot, and that'll be my stopper bead. And then I can pick up my first row of seed beads. So 2. The hardest part is the starting, maybe in the ending. So you're seeing the 2 hardest parts today. 6, 8, 10, 12. All right, so I've got my 12 seed beads. I started off with basically an arm's length of thread. So from my wingspan, from one tip of my finger to the other tip, it's quite a bit of thread. So if you don't like a long length of thread, you can do a smaller length. That's what I've been doing. I just don't like doing the weaving in, weaving out, weaving in, starting a new thread that often. So I usually start with quite a bit. So here we go. I'm going to pick up 2 more in the silver. This is a 2-drop peyote. Then I'm going to go down below those top 2 and in the next 2 below it. And I'm just going to slowly kind of pull my thread through. I really should have Danielle showing you this because she's so much better at teaching this than I am. But here we go.
You're doing great.
Oh, thank you. I learned from the best. Okay, so now we've got something that kind of looks like that. We're going to pick up 2 more. And now I've done lots of practice. We're going to go down 2 seed beads and in through the next set of 2. What are your kids into lately, Danielle? My kids are starting a theater thing today, and they're super excited.
So neat. Well, they're mostly into Lego right now, but then my oldest told me today he wants to be an actor when he grows up.
Oh, well, I wish he lived here. He could be in the theater group with them.
Yeah, I do too. That would be really awesome.
Yeah, all 3 of them are going to be in a play together.
Oh, that's so cute.
I'm super excited. Anything where they can all 3 do it together is like my favorite.
Yeah, and it's really cool if they can practice together because you don't have to drive a bunch of different places.
Exactly. No, that's the
So nice.
major reason is it's like a lot to try to do. Like soccer on 3 different teams is very hard.
Absolutely.
So it's exciting when they get to all do the same thing and I just drop off once. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best. Yeah.
Pretty good. Now I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to pick up 2 and I'm going to go through the next 2 that are kind of sticking out. And that's going to start kind of creating the base of my pattern. I usually just get a few rows started and then I start in on my letter. I like to do the middle first because that's usually where I have my word. And then I kind of work both ends if I'm going to add anything else out to the clasp. That has been, for me, has been the easiest. How do you like to do it, Danielle? Because I know you start with a full pattern. Do you just start from one end and work the other?
Your approach actually makes a lot of sense for when you're designing something that has a center point. It's a lot easier to get started at the middle, I think. But if you have like a whole like a pattern with a word chart, for example, for something like that, I would probably just follow the word chart from row 1 and then stitch it through that way.
I've never really done someone else's pattern. I mean, I did. I take that back. I did a part of someone's pattern, but it was a repetitive pattern. And I ended up, it was so complex. I ended up doing like a mini version of it. I don't know if I still even have it right here to show you, but I probably do. There we go. Do you see how it's starting to line up? And then that will become the edge. It's probably right here in my bracelet.
That's my favorite part is when it starts to come together.
It looks pretty.
It gets so much easier after that too. You've got clear up beads and everything's just going.
Yep. So then I start to just kind of look at my T for Thrive and I think, okay, well, I've got to do it on a section where on this second row, it's the inside one, which will be next up. So I've got to do one more row this way. And then as I'm heading back up, I'm going to hit that first end of the T and I'll add that color. Okay, let's flip over to you and I'll keep working on my letter over here. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good. I had just added thread. I had run out of thread, so I brought a new strand in.
Will you talk about how you did that?
Yeah, I was just thinking I should have shown that. It was just kind of on autopilot going, you know. But usually when I run out, I'll try to stop when I have at least 10 is ideal, 7 you can make work. But so this is my old thread here. And I just brought a new strand in and just started making turns in the work. And I just trimmed that tail because when I got to this spot here, you weave to exit from the same place where your old thread left off. And when I got here, it wasn't moving anymore. When I pulled on it, the tail was steady. So went ahead and just removed that. And now I'm ready to start my rows again.
And it's really easy to add thread.
Yeah, true.
So if you prefer a shorter thread, you can totally do that. I just go with the long thread, but you do have to go a little slower with the long thread because it can knot pretty easily if you're not
Absolutely. Careful. Yeah, and I'm pretty bad about that because I do I get into a hurry, you know, if you've got something that's, you know, due or that I'm working on. And so I'll cut a strand that I think I can manage, but I already know was too long. It's like what I would not recommend doing, but I just did it anyway, you know. Inevitably, I get a knot, and then that knot takes me longer to pick out than if I had just added the thread in the first place.
I feel you.
It's a classic, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the mom way, I think. Like, we have so much to do. We're doing our best. And then we try a shortcut, and then we're like, no, that never works. Why did I do that?
Yeah. That's exactly true. And I kind of accidentally, I spaced a little bit, and I did 3 drops for this template. We were talking about before, because you're doing 2 drops. I just wanted to highlight that I kind of did something slightly different, but it's the same exact steps, like literally the exact steps.
It comes together more quickly though, because you're picking up 3 beads at a time. So that can be fun.
Yeah, and since I had such a long word, I kind of felt like I needed something fast too, so it's kind of worked that way. But I wanted to show this. Have you ever seen these little magnetic bookmarkers?
No. Those are nice.
These, I can't remember where I got these. I think my kid might have brought it home from the book fair, but I've checked, and these are like, oh, thanks, Rachel. Yeah, these are like, they're everywhere. You know, you can get them pretty much like in all paper stores, and I'm sure it's online and stuff. But I use it to keep my spot. So just kind of mark.
Oh, that's smart.
And I can slide it on there.
Oh, that's so smart.
Isn't that cool? So I just thought I'd share that.
I love that.
It's great for travel because I can't bring my whole big board with me when I travel, and I often do. Peyote is my favorite thing to bring on a trip because it's nice and tiny.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did this your way for this because I didn't know how much I was going to need for length. And so I made the word first, and now I'm in the process of adding length on each side. So that's what I've been doing. And I have a goal for the closure that is going to require it to meet at the back of my wrist, which I'm almost there. And then I'll just need a few more rows after that. The idea, and this one is a prototype. I need to turn this bead the other way. Actually, I might be able to do that. I just realized I could probably do it. It's supposed to look like that. And anyone who's ever used an e-hook knows exactly what I'm going to do here. But I would also want to kind of like hammer that or do the.
Did Cast used to make something like that?
They did. Yes, they did. They made something. They had a bunch of different versions, actually. They had an e-hook, and then they had a bunch of D-rings, and they had there was some end bars, and I used to use them very similarly, but this one is like most similar to the e-hook. So when I get this to the length I need it to be, I'll add a few rows, probably 4 rows, fold it over, stitch it down, just a little zipper stitch, right? And then we'll just bring this through it like that. And when you're wearing it, there'll of course be another thing like that on the other side. I just need to get that length there.
I miss Cast so much.
I actually almost texted Kirsten the other day and just said, I miss Cast. I wanted to send them a note.
Yeah.
I was going through something, looking for something, and found a bunch of things I can never buy again and had a really nostalgic moment.
Yeah. Well, hopefully eventually they did sell their molds and things. So, you know, hopefully
they do. I was excited about that at first, but the minimums are pretty steep, and the responsiveness hasn't been so amazing so far. So
we haven't attempted yet, but I'm sure that is going to be tricky.
Maybe if we all get together in a group. Yeah, I've never worked so hard to spend my money before, so it's like.
I'm hoping I'm going to see that company in Tucson. Are you going to go to Tucson?
You know, I don't think I'm going to make it this year. I really wanted to go, but we have a complicated schedule now since my oldest started junior high.
Oh yeah,
it starts really early in the morning.
Schedules are a real bummer.
I know, schedules are rough. Yeah, I mean, it's doable, but I would want my mom to come up and help out, or have somebody come help out, you know, so that it's not so hard on just because it's not one parent would struggle to do it because you'd have to leave the youngest one by himself.
Oh yeah.
He's 9. He could probably handle it. I mean, it'd just be a few minutes.
Yeah.
The school drop off is absolutely like, oh my gosh, you're in this line for 20 minutes.
Ugh.
So it could be like 35, 40 minutes. And so we've been walking it when it's not pouring rain, and that takes 40 minutes. So by the time I get back, that's 40 minutes. He would have been by himself. But so
Yeah.
fortunately he was here. And I think also my husband doesn't like to get up early. And it's in the morning we have to get up.
Yeah, it's so hard.
So I don't know. I got to figure that out. I got to figure out how this is going to work for it's 3 years of junior high at that early start.
Right.
Change the time.
Yeah, I've been homeschooling, but my oldest wants to go to middle school next year. So it's definitely going to change some things for us because she's going to have a set time and day, that she has to be there. That'll be really different for my family, but I think it'll be fine. I will make it work. And I'm supportive of whatever she wants to do,
Yeah.
Yeah.
One idea I had for how to make it work for if I had to get the youngest one up in order to come with me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I would just like tempt him with donuts or a McDonald's breakfast sandwich or something.
Yes, smart.
Spin it, like, yes, I'm going to get you up early. And he's a night owl, so he will just he would lose his mind on me if I wake him up. And already 9 years old, he's acting like a teenager. I'm in for it for sure.
Oh, I think some people are just wired that way too, where it's very hard to live by the morning people schedule. So that can be tricky.
I'm like that too. I'm wired that way for sure. I'm a super night owl.
Yeah, me too.
My best ideas at night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm more of a night person. We get up at a decent time in the morning, but we're not like motivated in the morning for sure.
I can do it, but I'm clumsy. I drop things. I forget things. I need a little coffee to make it happen.
I have to have like 8 cups of coffee before I'm up.
Me too.
Okay, it's daytime. I'm doing it. I got it. I try to always schedule meetings for the afternoon. So I'm just not my best self in the morning.
I am not, for sure not.
And then winter is so hard for us night owls because it gets dark super early.
Oh yeah, it's getting dark here at 4:45.
Oh my God, stop it. That's so early.
Now in the summer, I'm out there at 10 o'clock at night and there's enough light to go for a walk and it's beautiful. It's never really too hot. So but we pay for that in the winter.
I know. Yeah, I grew up partially in Montana and it would stay light really late in the summer. And then it would be like 4 o'clock in the winter. And it's like I just got out of school at 3:30 and it's already like the sun is setting, What happened to my day?
Right, exactly. You're like, hang on. Well, I think I've got the length where I need it on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and just bring this into the work and trim it really quick. So this is my old working thread. I like to create more rows and often I don't even do my weaving until the end. Do you do that?
Do I do what?
Well, so when I'm doing thread adds, I'll just leave the old working thread in place.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even weave it until I'm done.
Yeah.
Just because I want to keep going, and I'm a lot more patient weaving in when I'm sitting there with a finished bracelet than I would be, at a few rows away from this spot, knowing I still have a ways to go.
Yeah, it depends on how I'm feeling. I've also been trying to remember to change my thread before I add my clasp. I know that's a good habit that I'm not always great at. But then if that thread breaks, your bracelet should stay intact. So I've been trying to do that more.
That's a really good point, actually. That is a really good one. And I should take that advice as well. This one is a little different in the way it's constructed in that because I had a thread add so close to the end, I think I kind of am at least somewhat only going to lose a little bit of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I've got this one ready. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to count back. Actually, I'm just going to push that down a little bit. Just a smidge. There we go. I'm going to count back 4 rows. So 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5. And bend it at that spot. So just like that. And I'm going to set this tray over here just for a second. So you can see what I'm doing a little better on this background, I feel like. And actually, I'm feeling like a little more rows are needed. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I did 5 rows. So there's those. And I'm going to test it one more time before I zipper stitch it down. But what I'm going for is for it to be able to fit my little clasp. And how I made this is 18 gauge craft wire. And I just measured at first to see that the bracelet could fit through it. And I used some round pliers to make little P loops. And then I used the larger part of a bill forming plier to get the larger size. And made sure that it was the right width. And you can kind of flex it while you're wearing it too. So like when it's on, you can tighten it up so it doesn't fall off. And then just test before you stitch it down. Make sure that your loops can go through it.
It looks great. And you can find that 18 gauge wire right on the Softlix Company website in lots of colors.
And so when it's on, I can just clasp it, by just like you do the E-hooks. So that's one way. So let's go ahead and stitch that down. I feel like it needed a little more. It was a little tight. So I'm going to go with, I could have made that loop smaller. I should have made that loop just a little tiny bit smaller, but
I'll be right back.
Sure. And if anyone wants to see how I made this, it was really easy, just twisting the wire bit. Just like that. It started as a single long piece. So here, I'm going to just zipper stitch by going down through these 3 here. Again, I did 3 drops, so I'm treating each bead as 3. Oh, thank you for posting the links to my page. Thank you. And then, so I'm going to go up through these 3 here. So this is just called a zipper stitch. So you go through the base and then you go through the top one and just treat those as your up beads. So in this case, I'm going to use these three right here. Pull that through. And then last but not least, I want to go through those 3. Oop. There's those. Okay. And then when you get to this side, you have an open here like that. So you just want to close that up by making a turn and going back through those beads. And often you can get through the next ones that were part of the part you stitched down. And then you can just reinforce it. Now all I have to do is weave in. So I just make it some turns. And this is how I brought in the new working thread when I ran short on thread. So you just start going through some beads and making little turns.
Vicki says the zipper stitch looks easy.
Thanks, Vicki. Yeah, this is how you make a ring too. If you ever want to make a ring, or how you attach it to one of those little slotted end bars. There's a lot of different end bars out there that are super, super cute.
Lynn is excited about the idea of making them herself because she hasn't been able to find them, these clasps.
Yeah, if I could go back in time, I would just go and do an insane lifetime buy of those E-hooks. That's the kind of stuff I would use a time machine for. I know there's a lot of better ways.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll be right back.
Let me get my priorities straight.
I know, right?
I would go back to that one time in Tucson that I saw that sunstone that I never got.
I know. Purchasing FOMO.
Oh my gosh.
Time machine, which is why I don't have one. And so this is where I am on this side. And so as you can see, I need to add some length, but there you go. And if you're making this for someone else, just use one of those like bracelet try-on bars, or you can measure it out. But you want to make it so that it has enough extra length to fold over. And I ended up actually going with 6 folded over because of I made this loop so big. But you could make that smaller. I mean, I just was just playing around. It's been a while since I've done that technique. You could also make a pretty, like, those little pinwheel spirals that I was watching you make one recently. It was
like an S hook?
Yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. That would work, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I make those.
A thinner band. I feel like that would work.
That's smart.
So I actually have to add thread again because I left a very short tail. So for some reason, I just kind of underestimated the amount of space I was going to need over here.
Well, now's your chance to show everybody how to.
Should I do it?
Yeah, okay. Go for it.
All right. So
I think that's a helpful skill to see.
So I usually leave just a tiny little bit of tail there. You can even kind of, because it's going to move on you, so you can even just kind of hold it with your thumb and just pinch it like that. And then I'm just going to bring this through. So just a bunch of turns and going through some beads. You can even test it now. So there's my little tail. I'm going to pull on this and see if it moves. Well, it's already pretty good. I can kind of move it, but not really. So let's head over here.
What's your favorite stitch for seed beading?
Oh, I think right now, because it does change from time to time. For a while, it was definitely herringbone for a while. And really, really feeling that. But this entire past year and then the beginning of this year so far, peyote stitch and multi-drop all the way. I love doing multi-drops because they're just so fast. All right, so removing that tail because I could see that it was not moving anymore. I'm going to leave my old working thread there. I had already brought it. It should have been over here to start a new row, right? It should be coming out of a down bead. The reason it's over here is I wove it through because this edge was really loose. And so I had pulled it through earlier to make my work easier as I was getting started. That's where it's at.
That looks great.
So I could keep going on this, or I could maybe try to show a little bit of how I made the wire thing, or how are we doing?
I think they would love to see how to make the wire thing.
Yeah,
let me pop over here and see where I've gotten. And then if you want to gather whatever you need to make the wire thing. Does that sound okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. So I've made it through my T and part of my H. I'm loving how that silver and black is showing up. I noticed with the gold and the red, I also really liked how it showed up. So and also the blue and the red. I think this one was tough. The blue and the gold was a little harder to see. But the deep dark color with the lighter color definitely works for me. And so I'm just going back and forth and I'm just following that pattern that I drew for my H. 2-drop peyote doesn't allow you to make a straight line. And so there are some pop outs in order to make that line. It usually ends up looking fairly good. I don't think I know I've done an H, but not on one of these bracelets to show you, but you'll see it when I keep moving forward here. So I've got next up is this little space here. So I just consult my chart. I see it's silver and black because I'm still filling in that center piece for my H and pull it through. It's so easy to keep track of where you are. This is a great project that you can do a little bit and set it down and come back to it. and it's not a tough, it's also the kind of project that you can pack up and take with you fairly easily. It doesn't require a lot of things, which is handy. It's very lightweight. You know, put it in your little project pouch that we have, we did for Customer Appreciation Week. And all you need are 2 colors of seed beads, some thread, a needle, something to cut with, and a closure of some kind. So that makes it pretty easy to manage. I've got one more section where I'm going to do a silver and a black. So I'm going to go silver, black, and then I'm just hitting this bottom here. Sorry if I'm off screen.
Oh, you're in the center.
And then you got to just do some thread management, always making sure your thread clearly goes in. Kind of check it every once in a while with a little tug that you don't have any thread that just didn't quite make it through for whatever reason. I've noticed every once in a while that happens. And then I have a silver, and you're just like going back and forth. It's very relaxing if you've been through a traumatic experience like I have been in the recent year. I highly suggest this as therapy. It's very, very relaxing. And it just is one of those things that you can kind of pick up, put down, pick up, put down, and put on a movie or some music and just sort of enjoy the process. And you can make shapes and things too. It doesn't have to be words. I think words are nice, but there's lots of other things to do as well. And there's tons of patterns out there. I just bought a couple patterns that were very complicated. I don't know if I'll actually be able to do them, but I bought a couple Christmas ornament patterns on Etsy. So you can start gathering some things like that too if you want a more complicated seed beading project. There's that too. Do you sell any of your patterns, Danielle?
I used to. I still have some on my Etsy shop, but now I just give them away. They're all free on my website.
Oh, that's kind of you.
Thanks. Yeah, some of my earlier ones, they're still for sale because people have bought them. So I feel like I can't like switch them to free because some people have purchased them. So those are still out there. They're on my store. They're really fun ones. I did like a whole Western style, and I did Christmas cactuses and
cute.
Yeah, that's mostly where I have like a whole page of free peyote patterns, and it has all the ones we did together. I think it was almost last year now. How could it be that long ago? But, oh my gosh.
Time goes by so fast, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm coming back to you. I see we have a question, so I'm going to pop that up first. It says, what about using square stitch? It would take a while, or 2-drop brick stitch, which works up rather easily and quickly.
Yeah, so square stitch is a different format. It's going to be square and loom. You're going to have a straight line. Let me show you on this one. A row that doesn't have these little breaks. Now, brick stitch is different. That is worked. If you're brick stitching, you're working in this direction. So you would get the right conditions, but your pattern would be turned 90 degrees. This one is worked heading this way. So they're all very different, and you really do kind of want to design patterns with those applications in mind. Like for loom, a good old graph paper of any kind, just from like the paper store, is all you need. Draw a beautiful picture, loom it. Square stitch is the same process. Not the same stitch, but it's the same layout. So you can either or use that. But if you're doing peyote or brick, you need this offset grid. See how one of them is just kind of set on top of the middle of the other?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's patterns made for example, peyote will not work on a loom for that reason. You just have something kind of, it would be moved one place value. So you would have a code, like a
yeah.
kind of, yeah, you would be encrypting it basically. And so, but there are so many really great programs out there. Like when I was doing this one, not only does it give you a great graph, but word charts, which are also really handy ways to keep track of what you're creating. And then it comes together pretty quickly because you're not having to like keep track of where you are as hard.
That's awesome.
That it's not that hard to keep track of. I feel like it's both of these are really great ways to do patterns. I saw a question from my friend Cynthia earlier. She was asking where to find these. And I owe you a blank 2-drop one because I made a 3-drop instead of a 2. So I will definitely do that.
Okay. Awesome. Well, maybe we can do both.
Yeah, let's do both. I'll put this on. Where should
you can send it to marketing@softluxcompany.com.
Okay.
Then they can put it on the blog for Monday.
For Monday. All right. So look for it there, guys. And I will add a 2-drop to this one. And I might stitch this one if it's okay to borrow your word because I just really liked it.
Yeah, go for it. It's beautiful. I love it.
We could wear it on different days.
Yeah. Or the same day, and we can be twins.
We could be twins. Yes, there you go. Awesome. It's so funny. My kids are at that age now where they like my oldest. He gets upset if my younger one likes the same thing.
Oh yeah.
Like, no, you can't like that one because I like that one.
Like, yeah. Well, it's only one person can like this thing.
I'm like, oh.
Everybody gets to like Taylor Swift.
I know. Hang on, guys. Both of you like Mama, right?
Everybody gets to like, whatever, Disneyland. Sorry.
Yeah, I could have offered that. That would have stumped them for a second. Hey, you could agree on that. They'd probably suddenly agree very enthusiastically if I offered.
Do you have a brother or a sister, Danielle?
I do. I have. I had 2 brothers. One of them I've lost. But I have another brother. He's a year younger than me, and we fought a lot as young people. We do not fight anymore, but
I'm an only child, and I was so perplexed when the girls got old enough to start arguing. I was like, what's happening?
Oh, so you were kind of like, hang on, what's happening?
Yeah, my husband was like, it's normal. I'm like, this does not seem normal. I've never argued with anyone like this in my life. Yeah. He's like, nope, it's normal. I'm like, okay. Just have to get used to it.
Yeah, so many of those things that I hear is normal. I'm just like, can we be different?
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be amazing to have the family that no one argues? Oh.
But then you'd be worried, like, hang on, why aren't they ever arguing about it?
Yeah. Why are we never arguing? Is something going on that's wrong?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay, are you going to show us how to make that closure?
Yeah, and so again, this is 18 gauge, and I've just gone ahead and got about 4 inches of it. That's not critical because you're going to be trimming it again anyway, but just in at least 4 inches for something this wide. And this one it's at 3/4 of an inch in width in the case of this design. And sorry about that. I like launched that. I don't know how I did that. Okay. It's getting up early. I promise that's what it is. It's like I'm always fumbly if I've been up early. And so I'm going to use, you can use round nose pliers. I'm going to use one of these because I can never seem to get my loops exactly the same. Another thing you could use is a cool wire jig. That would work. I feel like all these things would work. But so I'm just going to make a nice little P loop. And so far, so good. Just got this great little loop. And if you didn't already know your measure that you want, just lay it across your piece. You can even mark the spot where you're going to be making the turn with a Sharpie. Leave a little bit of room, like right about there. And so I'm just going to pinch it at that spot. And then you'll want to work a little bit larger round. So I'm going to go with like my 3rd step and just bring that up. So there's my first side. And then I want to make a turn in that same step size. And so I'm just going to line up my tool roughly. I'm going to have to get I'm going to squeeze that back together, but I want to just get right about there and bring that up in that way. And I'll just need to readjust that back down. But see, even while you're wearing it, you can make that adjustment. From here, I'm going to measure out 1/4 of an inch from the top of that other loop. So I want to cut right about there. And that 1/4 of an inch is just to make the simple loop. In the simple loop, like diameter, I just kind of know that this is about 1/4 inch, which is about 2 millimeters. I think that's the same on most tools, but I'm not sure. And I'm just going to roll that forward. Get a nice little loop. And so it doesn't have to be perfect because, as you can see, it's going to work. Actually, I did better on that one than I did on the first one. I like this one more. Let's go with that one.
Practice makes perfect.
I like that one. It's pretty good. And so it literally can be almost, just kind of freestyled. And I would make it work hardened and maybe get one of like the wire whacker and just like, I won't do that on the camera, but it's a good idea to do that. And there you go.
Look at how easy that was. And then if you wanted to, work harden it, you would use that wire whacker, which you can find on the Softflex Company website. And that will make sure that it kind of stays in that shape long term. And what a fun, easy way to close off your bracelet. I'll show you the 2 ways I've done it as well. I don't know if we have any of these little metal findings that you actually helped create, I think.
Oh, wow.
Let me see. I think we still have a few of them, possibly.
Oh,
I
yes.
used these guys on the ends. They're just like a little connector that you go ahead and use your thread to attach. And then the other thing I've been doing a lot of is just making like a toggle clasp with a button.
Beautiful.
So I go through it a lot of times. I'm not sure how long before it wears out is my only concern. But again, if you do a separate thread, then that can be kind of helpful. I made this one just a little too tight too, which I imagine isn't great for the thread, but it fits snugly, which is nice. Do you see how pretty that is?
That is gorgeous.
Vintage buttons. We're going to have a few more of these as we're doing the live sales coming up. We had a couple we added last week. So keep an eye out for those. They're great for a design like this. Or I think I have the same button.
That's so cool.
Look at that. I love this button design. So you can also make a loop with Softflex and add it. So we'll have a brand new live sale tomorrow. We have new things from John at Beads over the next month. So every live sale, there will be brand new things that we're sharing with you. So make sure you tune in tomorrow, be there live to get the best of the best, 1 to 3 o'clock Pacific. What is that? 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern. But you can shop all weekend. And the stuff that John's sending, thankfully, there's a good quantity. So you should be able to get in on the purchase too for the trunk show, even if you watch over the weekend. So make sure you're checking it out. Like Thomas said, make sure you download the app. That's the best place to shop. It's easy to get that downloaded now. You can also get on our text message chain, which I see Thomas dropped a link for, and that will give you a text every time we go live for a live sale. So that makes it easy. What does this say? Danielle, I just received your box clasps in 8 and 11. Can you please tell me what pattern I can use with them?
If they're the ones I'm thinking, I have some patterns on my website at daniellewickesjewelry.com under patterns and tutorials. Let me know if you can't find them. They're in several places because I've done a few. And then also, probably my favorite thing I've ever done with them, I actually did for beadshop.com. So if you go to beadshop.com and look at aloe and agave bracelets, that's a cool one. Let's try that one out. And it's what we're doing here today for the design.
We have a brand new crystal mix that went on the website today. I can't even dump this whole thing in one tray. There's so many beauties in here. So I'm going to have to do, and then I just spilled them all, of course.
Oh, no.
Let me come back over here real fast so you can see that in the light. Look at these little snowflakes in here. How cute are those? And then it's just a really beautiful winter mix based on our kit, which is the Arctic Circle design kit. If you love this color way, make sure you get that kit. There aren't that many of them left now because we're getting close to TGBE this weekend. So you want to get in and get your kit ordered as soon as possible. You can use that coupon code that I showed you earlier. Let me flash that one more time. This is already available today if you want to use it on the kit itself and many other things too. $10 off, $59, $20 off, $99. You could put the seed beads, you can put the thread, you could put the kit, all sorts of things in your cart, and then get this discount on the top of your order. Also, any orders over $89 are shipping for free, which is kind of amazing this day and age in the US. So take advantage of that as well and make sure your order is over $89 to get the free shipping. To get the $10 or the $20 off, make sure you use the coupon code on that purple tag, Midwinter25, to get the discount. And it's kind of nice because you can put anything in your cart, from closeouts to outlet to any of the kits or bead mixes or gemstones. We have lots of beautiful gemstones, seed beads, Softflex wire, Softflex craft wire. If you want to make some of those really fun closures, Danielle was just showing all of it's included. It's the discount is on the entire cart. So fill up your cart and then use that code to get your discount. And hopefully you'll get free shipping too if you're at the right level. All right, let's do our giveaway. I think it's time. Let me see. I will keep working on my Thrive bracelet and then eventually post a picture. And I assume Danielle will send us pictures of what she's got going on there too.
Yes, absolutely.
We can post it into our Instagram. We've got 87 entries. You must be live to claim your order or your giveaway. What is the word I'm looking for? If you win, you must be here and let us know in the comments so that we know you're here and we can give you instructions for how to claim your prize. Okay, here we go. I'm going to draw a winner right now. Who will it be today? Oh, Kim Craft. I'm so glad it's you. Kim, you are our winner. Let us know you're here in the comments. You're going to email info@softflexcompany.com, and then Thomas will send them the link to the pendant drops that he was thinking of. He chose our free gift today, and he'll send that to info as well so that they know what to send you. But let us know you're here to claim your prize. And everybody else stick around just in case for some reason Kim is no longer here, although I doubt that. I think she usually sticks around for most of the show. So congratulations, Kim. We're looking for you. Type in, let us know you're here, or I'll pick someone else. In the meantime, don't forget TGBE. We will be live on Friday, 5 p.m. for preview night. You'll get a little sneak peek. There she is. Email info@softflexcompany.com to claim your prize, Kim. We will be live on Friday night for preview night, which I'm super excited to see what everyone's doing. That's always like one of the best nights because we get to see what everyone's got planned, because even we don't know what everyone else is planning till we get to preview night. And it's always fun to kind of get a bird's eye view onto what's going on. I'm going to look and see if the schedule is here yet. I know I saw this for Kristen and I. You'll find us live with our presentation 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We will be live on the Great Bead Extravaganza Facebook page, as will all the other presenters all day long. And then here is the schedule for the whole weekend. We've got Candy Cooper leading us off on Saturday, Abby Berta leading us off on Sunday. Everything kicks off at 8:30 a.m. Pacific or 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Saturday and Sunday mornings. And then it kind of just takes off from there. So we've got a lot coming up this weekend. I hope you'll check out as many of these presentations as possible in person. If you like giveaways, be there live. And then if you can't make it live, please do show up and watch later as well. Usually deals and things go on through the beginning of the following week. So you got a couple days to like really get in on all the real fun things that are happening. So I think it's going to be a great time, as it usually is. And I hope you'll all come and hang out with us for the Great Bead Extravaganza Midwinter Market. Danielle, what do you have coming up?
This Saturday, I have Seed Bead Saturday. It's at 2 p.m. though, and I think I might change the time because I just saw that it's going to overlap with yours.
Oh, but you always do it that time, right?
I do. Maybe I'll do a pre-recorded, and that way folks can watch it later. I don't want them to miss one or the other. But
that's
Sunday,
nice.
I have live with Nile, Silver Silk Sundays, and that's at 3 p.m.
That's awesome.
His time, 1 p.m.
I know I've had a few people who aren't part of TGBE ask me, can you just tell me ahead of time when TGBE is so that I can just plan my vacation that weekend? Because I'm not going to go live at the same time because nobody watches. And I was like, oh, that's probably true. Yeah, it's probably hard to have like another show going on at the same time because it does definitely like suck up the oxygen on the internet.
Some of our ladies will have 2 phones though.
Yeah, that's true. I do see that happen, especially with me and Nile, because every once in a while we overlap and I'm like, tell Nile hi. Somebody's watching him too.
I love that.
I love that. I don't know how you guys do that. I can't imagine listening to 2 different things at the same time. Becky says she will literally watch 2 at once.
I love that.
She does that. I love that, you guys. That's so awesome. Okay, so we got a busy week ahead. We've got live sale tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific. We've got preview night Friday, 5 p.m. Pacific. We've got Softflex presentation Saturday, 1 p.m. Pacific-ish. I think it's 1 p.m. Around there, 1:30. It's a lot. We got a lot going on. It's going to be super duper fun. Kristen does not have a video on Monday, just FYI, because she'll be so worn out from TGBE. She has to sleep in on Monday. But I'll be back here again next Wednesday as well. So I'm so glad to see all of you here. I hope you pick a word of the year. I'd love to continue as you watch this on replay, seeing what your words are. So please, if you're watching it on replay, post a comment and let me know what you think your word of the year is going to be and maybe why. I like to hear that part too. And of course, you can always shop for all these things we showed you today on the Softflex Company website. And please go follow my good friend Danielle Wickes in all the places. She's got a great Instagram. You are also on YouTube, right, Danielle?
I am, yep.
YouTube, Facebook. You can find her all over the place. And she's always giving lots of fun inspiration using lots of different products, whether it's seed beads or silver silk or all sorts of things. So definitely follow her and check out. Heather, survived was my word last year. Yeah. That one, that's a key word. I'm glad you survived as well. Joyce is still taking a break on Fridays. She's got a lot going on with procurement. So she has been on hiatus. I think she's coming back for one Spill the Beads later this month that she has planned. But for right now, she is hit or miss on a Friday. All right. I love all of you guys. Have the best day. And I will see you again tomorrow for the live sale at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to have a great time with John's Beads. Bye, everybody.